Yo, I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame, though it might be nice.
Well, guys, as a Heat fan, Game 3 didn't really go exactly as I would have wanted it to go, but nonetheless, it was still an entertaining game, you know, just like the previous two and how pretty much this whole series has been. It's just been fun to watch, honestly. And regardless who wins this series at this point, like, I know it's, like, I'm truly believe that this will go like the full 7 games. And it should, because this series has honestly been really fun. So the Heat and the Sixers split them both in Philly. And after that good Heat win with a vintage D-Wade performance, that was really good. I knew the Sixers were going to come to the Heat's house and, you know, pretty much try to do the same thing that the Heat did in Game 2, and that's steal back home court advantage. Everyone knew Joel Embiid was like practicing, like trying to play, and like, but we didn't actually know if he was going to play or not. And it turns out he did play. And like the Heat said, you know, the whole series they've been trying to plan out as if Joel Embiid was playing. And I knew he was going to play at some point in this series. And I knew it was going to be tonight. So when I think about Joel Embiid playing, you know, 7-footer, big guy, I'm automatically looking at Whiteside and thinking, hey, you know, Whiteside and Joel have a rivalry going. So, like, you know, maybe this will motivate Whiteside to play better than the first 2 games that he's played. But that didn't really happen. In like the 13 minutes Whiteside played today, he wasn't very useful. I think he only had 1 field goal, and that might have been that lob by D-Wade, but that's about it. Like him, besides shooting a couple free throws, that's all he pretty much did for us. Honestly, I don't know what's going on with Whiteside. I don't know if it's because of lack of touches. Maybe he's not playing enough minutes. He's just not motivated. Maybe what he said about earlier in the season about him unsure with his future with the Heat. Who knows, man? But I mean, I know. Like the Sixers like to go small, and the Heat try to match with it, and that might bring Whiteside out of the game. But you know, like the minutes you're out there, the least you could do for your team in the playoffs is, you know, contribute, try to help win, but that's not the case with Whiteside. Maybe it's just his attitude. He's still got some maturing to do, but man, Whiteside, like whether you still want to be part of this team or not, like that's all up to you, obviously, and the Heat front office. But like, could you set that aside for this series and for these playoffs? Because I believe that the Heat will still win, and they need you, and I believe that you guys, the Heat, can still win. But like, we just set all that aside for the playoffs and like just focus on one thing, and that's just winning games. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. The actual game itself, outside of the Whiteside situation, this was definitely played more at Philly's tempo, which is a fast-paced game, high scoring, lots of threes being shot. It went back to like sort of like game 1, but not exactly. You know, like it was a pretty close game through most of it. That's the difference from game 1. Dragic, our all-star point guard, like fantastic game. But the biggest surprise was definitely Justice Winslow stepping up for the Heat, definitely knocking down like 4 threes, I think, in the game, and like definitely getting to the foul line a lot. And that's what I like to see. You know, if the Heat are gonna win this series, like we need more from our other guys. Like I know Dragic's gonna consistently score. I know James Johnson will bring something. I know Josh Richardson will bring something, and I know Dwayne Wade and Kelly Olynyk. That's 5 players right there. And the Heat rotation, like in the playoffs, has at least been 10 to 11. So if the Heat are gonna win this, like we need more. Like we need like our main players, like not just our starting 5, but like our bench unit too, like just evenly score points. Because what I'm seeing from Philly is that, yeah, like Ben Simmons is like dominating on the court, but like, you know, you got your Marco Bellinelli's, your Ilyasova's like putting up like around 20 points a game. But like Dario Saric, this dude put up like the quietest 19 points that I've seen. Like I didn't even know he had 19 points up until like I went back and I looked at the box score. And you know, that's what the Heat need, like, especially from someone like Wayne Ellington, who's just not been feeling it at all in this series. But you know, you can't always expect certain players to just consistently do that. Well, I mean, in the playoffs it is different, but just the way this Heat team is, like, I feel like everyone has to contribute and do their part, and it's inconsistent. Like, I'm only seeing like only like a certain like 3 players are putting up this amount of points, filling up the stats like this, and then like in game 2 it was Dwayne Wade, and then in game 3 it's Dragic and Justice Winslow leading the way for us. Like that's cool and all, like in the regular season, but in the playoffs, like we need more from everybody. But this was Joel Embiid's playoff debut. I knew he'd be wearing the mask, but I didn't know that the mask would play like such a big role in this game. Like it was like a big part of this storyline. And then like the 3 sets of double technical fouls, like that just pumped the game up even more. Like that Dwayne Wade Justin Anderson altercation, like that really, like, it really pumped my veins. Like it pumped my blood up. Like, ooh, like I really wanted the Heat to win, but obviously that didn't happen. But you know, like the game in itself actually had some pretty funny moments, like when a piece came off of Joel Embiid's mask, and then you just see Winslow trying to break it and mess with it. I don't know what he was doing, but I thought that was pretty funny. And then like the whole Dragic Bellinelli thing, where Dragic gets an and one and then just like flexes on him. I thought that was pretty funny too. And then, you know, like Winslow had a nice block on Joel Embiid, and then on the other end, Joel Embiid said, "Nuh-uh, watch this," and blocked him right back. Like, that's just what I like to see. You know, that's what the playoffs are about. But definitely, like, the Heat and Sixers playoff series has been the funnest by far, because in the Western Conference, like, I think everything's looking like a sweep so far, except for the Jazz and Thunder series. Like, that's the only series in the West that's tied up. And in the East, the Celtics up 2-0 on the Cavs as of this video. But like Joel Embiid's return, I wasn't expecting too much. I honestly was surprised that they didn't put him on a minutes restriction, but then again, he did go on Instagram and say to stop babying him, so I guess they took that advice and stopped babying him to a degree, because he was still wearing that mask. But even that, like, I really didn't even expect him to have the type of performance that he did. But dude, this guy is on another level. Like, he's one of the top 3 big men for sure in this game. 23 points in your playoff debut while wearing a mask and like not having played basketball in like a month. Like, that's just nuts, man. Like, this Sixers team is just nuts. Like, I think, like, in this playoff series, I think the Heat and Sixers are both evenly matched, but Philly's future, man, like, I could definitely see a world where they own the Eastern Conference. But yeah, guys, like, at the start of the 4th quarter, like, I remember at the end of the 3rd, it was only a 2-point Philly lead, and then they start off the quarter outscoring us 9-1. And after that, they just took off. You know, Joel Embiid hit some big shots too, part of his 23 points that he had tonight. And Ben Simmons just doing his thing, getting people involved, and the Heat we just collapsed on offense. I thought our defense was good throughout the whole game. It's just at the end we couldn't find any offense. And that's been the trend when this whole playoff series, like in that second half, 3rd, 4th quarter, the Heat are always struggling to find offense. That's something that Coach Spo is gonna have to try to figure out on something, and even maybe a lineup change, because you know Whiteside's been so ineffective in this series. I mean, maybe in game 4 you could give it one more try with Whiteside in the starting lineup. Maybe give him a few touches, see if he's feeling it or not, and then go from there. Like, at this point, I wouldn't be mad if we started Bam or even Kelly Olynyk over him. Like, I think Kelly Olynyk's better coming off the bench. He's more of a weapon and more of a threat, but even Bam has looked more engaged in this series than Whiteside has, and that says a lot. But I'm not gonna get on Whiteside a lot. I'm only getting on him because it's the playoffs, and this is where it matters. Like, where his presence, his effort, everything that he does, like, that's why he's a max player. Like, this is the moments you're supposed to show why you're that max player and show the world what you're made of. But that hasn't been the case. But I'm praying to the basketball gods that someone will open a light to Whiteside or something, and like he'll find that motivation and that hunger to go at it again, and like maybe he'll bring it in game 4. Who knows? But I'm never giving up hope, because there was one game in the regular season that Whiteside did get the best of Joel Embiid, and we've seen it in the regular season. So bring it in the playoffs, Whiteside. I know you can do it. You're a dominant player. You're a paint protector for a reason. But Kevin Hart, you're ugly for not showing up to this game. You know, like that D Wade performance was because of Kevin Hart. So I was expecting to see Kevin Hart in game 3, you know, maybe give D Wade like 15, 20 points off the bench, but I didn't see him. If he was there, let me know, because I didn't see him. I was watching the game on TV and I didn't see Kevin Hart once. But Kevin Hart, you're invited to game 4 if you want, if you know what I mean. But guys, you heard it here first. I'm fully expecting the Heat to bounce back in game 4, because that's what this series is looking like. Like, one team takes one game and the team will take another. And it's going to go 7 games. I already know this, but the Heat will come on top. But let me know what you guys thought about this game 3, and let me know what you guys think let me know who you think is gonna win the series. If you agree, disagree with me, let me know. If you guys are new here, you guys should definitely leave a like. Consider subscribing. It'd mean the world to me, and I'll see you guys after game 4. Peace.
Yo, I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for